Hello everyone, welcome to Frightful Whispers. I'm here to guide you into the shadows tonight. I know you're using this video to unwind and drift off to sleep. So, before we begin, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Where are you watching from? And what time is it for you? Now, get cozy, relax, and let the whispers of the night take over. It all started so quietly, like any other ordinary day. My name is Jason Wells, and I used to be just another office worker, drifting through the humdrum of daily life. My world was a steady, predictable routine. Mornings were spent with the same buzz of fluorescent lights flickering above my cubicle, the steady tapping of keyboards, and the quiet shuffle of feet in the hallways. Nothing ever really changed. I liked it that way. It was calm, predictable, comfortable. But that night was when everything shattered. It wasn't anything dramatic at first, just the usual end-of-day routine. I was at home in my small apartment like I always was. No friends to visit, no plans to make. Just me and the silence. The hum of the refrigerator in the background. The soft glow of my TV playing some random show I wasn't even paying attention to. I didn't need much to feel content. I liked the solitude. I didn't mind being alone. I walked into the bathroom like I did every night to brush my teeth. The bathroom light flickered on as I stood before the mirror, and for a moment, I didn't think anything of it. The reflection in the mirror, the tired face staring back at me, was just me. Same brown eyes, same scruffy stubble on my chin. Nothing remarkable. But then something happened, something off. I caught a movement from the corner of my eye. At first, I thought it was just the light, or maybe I was tired. I shook it off and continued brushing, but then, there it was again. My reflection was moving. It wasn't exactly mimicking me. It was moving before I did, as if it knew what I was going to do before I did it. I stopped brushing, my hand still poised in the air with the toothbrush, and stared at it. My reflection. It raised its hand before I did, almost like it was anticipating my movement. A second too early. A perfect mimicry, but not quite. I thought I was imagining it. I mean, it couldn't be real, right? I was just tired, just stressed. My mind was playing tricks on me. That's what I told myself anyway. But the feeling didn't go away. My reflection didn't stop. It moved again, but not in the same way I did. It was off. I could feel it. My heart started to race. I put the toothbrush down, my hands shaking. The cold, smooth surface of the mirror felt somehow wrong. I didn't know why, but there it was. Something wasn't right. The next morning, I went to work, but I couldn't shake that feeling. I'd glance at the computer screen and there it was again, my reflection. Only now it seemed to watch me. It wasn't just a reflection. It was like it was alive. More alive than I was. I didn't tell anyone. What could I say? That my reflection was moving on its own? That it seemed to be following me, waiting for me to make a move before I even did? People would think I was crazy, but it didn't stop. I came home that night exhausted, hoping to escape it. But when I walked into the bathroom and saw the mirror again, my reflection was waiting for me. It was there, watching. But this time, it wasn't mimicking me. It was doing exactly what I was doing, but with a terrible delay. It was like it was watching me too closely. My reflection, staring back at me, was different. It was still me, but no, not me. It was something else. The eyes weren't quite right. The smile, the grin, it wasn't mine. I reached out to touch the mirror, my fingers trembling. It was cold, yes, but not like it should have been. It felt soft, like I could push through it, like it wasn't glass at all. My hand froze on the surface. Then it happened. The thing in the mirror, it moved first. Before I did. My body went rigid, but my reflection, it stepped toward me. It was grinning, its smile stretching wider and wider, until I felt the bile rise in my throat. My own face twisted into something unnatural. I pulled my hand back, staggering backward. No, this is just, I'm imagining it. This is not real. But the words felt hollow in my own ears. My reflection stayed, staring back, grinning, mocking me. I could feel it. It was like it was alive, and it was waiting for me. I don't know how long I stood there. I think I might have been frozen, or maybe just too scared to move. But when I finally turned away, I couldn't shake the feeling. It followed me. I could feel it in every shadow, in every corner. It wasn't just in the mirror anymore. It was in my mind. I'm not sure what I thought after that. I think I thought maybe I was going crazy. Maybe it was stress, exhaustion. Maybe I was just losing it. But then, the next night it happened again, and the night after that, I couldn't escape it. Now, I know it wasn't just in my head, it was real. My reflection wasn't just a reflection, it was something else. Something darker, and I don't know how much longer I can fight it. I feel it every day, watching, waiting. It's in the mirror, it's in the corners of my mind, and it's closer than ever. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm Jason Wells, just a regular guy, you know? An office worker with a desk tucked in the corner of a cubicle farm. My life was simple, routine, predictable. I went to work, did my job, came home, and repeated. Nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. I had no reason to question anything until it started happening. It was subtle at first. I was standing in front of the bathroom mirror, brushing my teeth like I always did. It was just another ordinary night, the faint buzz of the fluorescent lights above mixing with the soft hum of the refrigerator from the kitchen. But when I looked at the mirror, I saw it. My reflection, at first glance, looked like it always did. Tired eyes, a bit of stubble. But something was wrong. It wasn't quite right. It wasn't like it was just following my movements, no. It was anticipating them. My hand was still holding the toothbrush, but my reflection had already lifted its arm, moving just a beat ahead of me. I froze. I told myself it was just fatigue. Maybe a trick of the light. I shook it off, but that feeling lingered. It was like something was off. Something I couldn't quite put into words, but it gnawed at me. I finished brushing my teeth quickly, telling myself it was nothing. But the unease didn't leave. The next morning, I thought I'd be fine. It was just my imagination, right? Maybe I'd gotten too little sleep the night before. But then, it happened again. I caught my reflection in the computer screen at work. There it was, just standing there, watching me. The way I moved, my hands lifting to type, it was too precise, like it knew what I was going to do next. And then, it did something I couldn't explain. I moved my hand to adjust the mouse, and my reflection did it, before I did. Like it was reading my mind. I had to look away. My heart pounded in my chest. I tried to focus on the work in front of me, but the feeling was like a shadow lurking just out of sight. Waiting. Watching. That night it was worse. When I stood in front of the mirror again, brushing my teeth, I felt it watching me. Not just mimicking me, not just following. It knew me. It wasn't just my reflection anymore. The eyes, my eyes, were different. Colder, darker. They looked at me with a strange knowing, as if they were seeing me beyond the glass. And that grin, it wasn't mine. I never smiled like that, so wide, so unsettling. I jerked back, panic crawling up my throat. "What's happening?" I whispered to myself. "This isn't real. This can't be real." But it was, and I couldn't get away from it. No matter how much I told myself it was just stress, or sleep deprivation, or some trick my mind was playing, I couldn't ignore it. It was there, watching, waiting. A few days later, it got worse. I couldn't escape it. At work, I glanced at the reflection in the window as I passed by, and it was like I was looking at a stranger. A version of me, yes, but twisted, alive. It grinned, my grin, but it wasn't me. Not anymore. Every time I caught a glimpse of it, it was waiting for me, watching me, like it knew everything I was going to do before I did it. And when I wasn't looking, when I thought I was safe, I could feel it creeping in the corners of my mind like a nightmare that wouldn't leave me alone. One night, it was almost too much to bear. I came home, exhausted, hoping that I could finally escape the grip of this nightmare. But I couldn't. I stood in front of the bathroom mirror and my reflection was there. Only this time, it wasn't just a delayed mimicry. It wasn't copying me, it was controlling me. It was as if I was the shadow now, and it was the one in charge. It smiled at me again. No, it grinned, this monstrous, twisted thing that wasn't mine. It was too wide, too cold, and as it grinned, I could see something more behind those eyes. Something that wasn't just a reflection, but a presence. Something that wanted to escape. I reached out to touch the glass, feeling the cold, smooth surface. But it wasn't just cold anymore. It felt wrong. It felt alive. It felt like I could slip through it, like I was being pulled toward it. I yanked my hand away, my heart racing, panic surging through me. But the reflection didn't stop. It only grinned wider, that unnatural smile stretching impossibly. And I could feel it, the presence behind my own face, waiting. I couldn't sleep that night. I couldn't escape it. The reflection was with me, always. It followed me everywhere, lurking just beneath the surface of every mirror, every window, every reflection. I could feel it in the corner of my eye. It was alive, and it was getting closer. It wasn't just a trick of the light. It wasn't just stress. It was something worse, something far darker, something that wanted to take me. And I didn't know how much longer I could fight it. I don't know how much time has passed since then. All I know is that it's always with me now. Watching, waiting, mimicking. And no matter how hard I try to outrun it, I can't escape the feeling, that grin, those eyes. They're always there, right behind me. The reflection, it's no longer just a reflection. It's alive. And it's coming for me. I never thought I'd be the kind of person to seek help. I always figured I could handle things on my own, that I could push through any problem, no matter how strange or unsettling. But when the reflection started, acting different, when I couldn't escape it, couldn't stop it, I realized I had no choice. I had to go to someone. I had to find answers. So, here I am, sitting in Dr. Helen Carter's office. The sterile, calm, neutral space feels like a different world from the nightmare that's been unfolding around me. The walls are beige, the lighting soft and non-intrusive, the furniture carefully placed as if designed to make you feel at ease. But all I can think about is the reflection. My reflection. It's watching me right now, even as I sit here in this chair, staring at the polished surface of the window across from me. It's always there, just out of sight, lurking in the corner of my vision. I can feel it, waiting. Dr. Carter sits across from me, studying me with a cool, professional gaze. She's been listening to me quietly, her hands folded in front of her on the desk, her posture perfect. She looks like she's heard it all before, like she's seen this kind of thing 100 times, but I know she hasn't. She doesn't know what I've been through. She doesn't know what it feels like to be hunted by something you can't even prove exists. So, Jason, she begins, her voice calm but firm. "Tell me what brings you here today." I want to scream at her. Tell her everything, that it's real, that I'm not imagining it, that my reflection isn't just a reflection, it's something else, something alive. But I can't. The words feel heavy on my tongue, like they're lodged in my throat, unwilling to come out. I take a deep breath, trying to steady myself. I'm seeing things, I say, my voice low, shaky. It's my reflection. It's not just mimicking me anymore, it's moving before I do, watching me, following me. I can't get away from it. It knows what I'm going to do before I do it. She nods, not interrupting, as though she's heard similar stories before. I want to scream at her, shake her, make her understand, but I just keep talking, my words tumbling out in a rush. At first, it was subtle, just a little thing. I'd move, and then I'd see it, my reflection, move, but just a beat after me. But then it started moving before I did. It watches me when I'm not looking. It's waiting, and it knows. Dr. Carter leans forward slightly, her brow furrowing. "Jason, what you're describing sounds like a vivid hallucination. It's not uncommon for people under stress to experience things like this. The mind can play tricks on us, especially when we're exhausted. Have you been sleeping?" I flinch. Of course, she's going to say that. Everyone says it. You're just tired. You're stressed. It's all in your head. But this isn't in my head. I haven't been able to sleep, I admit, my voice trembling. I feel like I'm being watched, even when I'm alone. My reflection, it's always there, and it doesn't stop. I stop myself, swallowing hard. The words don't seem real. It's getting closer. I feel it getting closer. Every time I look in the mirror, it's different. It's like it knows everything about me, everything I'm going to do before I even do it. She sits back in her chair, her gaze steady. I can't read her face, not exactly, but there's a hint of something I can't place. Maybe concern, maybe disbelief. But it's there, lingering, just beneath the surface. "Jason, I'm not dismissing what you're feeling," she says, her voice soft but firm. "But I need you to understand that the mind is a powerful thing. Stress, exhaustion, trauma, these things can cause distortions in your perception. You're under a lot of pressure right now, and it's affecting your mind. But you have to trust me when I say that this is something we can work through. We can help you make sense of it. The mind can play tricks, but it's also incredibly resilient. And we can help you regain control." I want to argue, to tell her she's wrong, but I can't. Her calm, steady voice keeps pushing back, making me feel like maybe, just maybe, I am crazy. Maybe it is just the stress, the sleepless nights, the pressure of work and life that's eating away at me. Maybe it's just me. But then I see it. Just a flicker of movement out of the corner of my eye, and I freeze. It's not here. It's not in this room. But I can feel it. It's always there. "Please, Dr. Carter," I whisper, my voice barely audible. "You don't understand. I can't escape it. Every time I see it, every time I look in the mirror, it's getting worse. I can feel it, watching me, waiting. I'm shaking now, my hands trembling, and I can't stop it. It's not just a reflection anymore. It's something else." She studies me for a moment, her gaze unwavering. I wait, holding my breath, desperate for her to say something, anything, that will make me believe I'm not losing my mind. After what feels like an eternity, she finally speaks, her voice quieter this time. "We'll start with some tests," she says gently, "and we'll take this one step at a time. But Jason, you need to trust me. You're not alone in this. We'll work together to get through this." But I don't feel comforted. I feel empty, hollow. I don't think she gets it. She's only seeing the surface of things, the symptoms. but the reflection. That thing I can feel following me. She doesn't know what it's capable of. She doesn't know what it's trying to do. I want to believe her. I want to believe that this will all make sense in the end. But deep down, a voice in my head whispers that there's something darker at play. Something that isn't going to stop. Not until it gets what it wants. And no matter how much Dr. Carter tries to help me, I know, I can feel it, that my reflection is getting closer. And it's waiting for me to slip up. Waiting for me to let my guard down. Waiting for its chance to take over. I never thought I'd be the kind of person who'd need help. But here I am, sitting in front of Dr. Helen Carter, a professional with her calm demeanor, her soothing voice, her confident presence. She's used to seeing people like me, people who don't know what's real and what's not. But she doesn't understand. She doesn't know what I've been through, what's been hunting me, what's been waiting for me. When I walked into her office today, I was desperate. I couldn't sleep, couldn't think straight. I had no choice. I thought maybe, just maybe, she could fix me, make the nightmare stop. I had to tell someone, anyone, what was happening to me. But now, sitting here across from her, I'm not sure I can explain it. How can I? How could anyone understand what's been happening? It's my reflection, I say, my voice shaking, despite my best efforts to keep calm. I feel the weight of every word, like I'm about to unravel everything. It's not like it's supposed to be, it's alive, it knows what I'm going to do before I do it. It moves before I do. I see it in mirrors, in windows. Every time I look at it, it's there, and it's wrong. Dr. Carter listens patiently, her brow furrowing ever so slightly. She doesn't interrupt, doesn't look at me like I'm crazy. She's too calm, too rational. And in that moment, I wish she would be more afraid, more aware of what's going on. But I can't say that. I can't say that it's real. I don't even know how to explain it. Jason, she says after a pause, her voice steady. What you're describing sounds like a vivid hallucination. Stress, anxiety, lack of sleep. These things can play tricks on the mind. It's not uncommon for people under extreme pressure to perceive things that aren't real. I don't know what to say. She's wrong. She's so wrong. The reflection isn't a hallucination. It's real. It's something I can feel, something that moves when I do, something that follows me. Every moment of every day, it's with me, watching me. I can feel its eyes on me even when I'm not looking. But how can I explain that to her? How can I make her understand that when I look into the mirror, I don't just see myself. I see something else, something darker, something evil. I try to speak again, but the words get stuck in my throat. I can't breathe. The reflection is in my head now, whispering, mocking, and I don't know how to stop it. No, I manage, my voice barely above a whisper. It's not just in my head, it's real. Every time I look at it, it's different. It moves before I do, watches me. It knows what I'm thinking. It's trying to replace me, take my place. I can't escape it. Dr. Carter leans back in her chair, a small, almost imperceptible sigh escaping her lips. She doesn't seem scared, she's just concerned. But the concern isn't for me. It's for the idea in her head that I'm losing control. I'm not saying it's all in your head, Jason, she says softly. But your mind can be powerful. When we're under pressure, exhausted, things can seem real. But they aren't. We'll work through this together, step by step. I want to scream. I want to shake her and make her understand. But instead, I sit there, my hands gripping the arms of the chair, my breath shallow, my mind spiraling further into the abyss. Because I know the truth, the reflection is real, and it's coming for me. I leave her office, but nothing changes. The weight of it all presses on me harder now. The reflection is still there, following me, waiting. I can't get away from it. No matter how much I try to shake it off, no matter how many people I talk to, it knows me. It wants me. That night, as I stand in front of the bathroom mirror, brushing my teeth, I feel it again. That presence, that hunger. The reflection is there, but it's different now. It's more than just a copy of me. It's alive. It's staring at me, and for the first time, I realize it's smiling. Not my smile. A twisted, cruel grin, one that I've seen before but never like this. My heart drops. I step back, my hands shaking, but the reflection steps forward. And in that moment, I understand. It's not just mimicking me anymore, it's taking over. The reflection isn't trapped anymore. It's free. I don't know how it happens, but I feel my feet move on their own, as if the reflection is controlling me now, pulling me toward the mirror. I try to fight it, but it's no use. The glass ripples, bends, like liquid, like I'm falling into it. I can feel it pulling me, cold and suffocating, like I'm being sucked into a void, and then I'm there, in the mirror, trapped. The reflection smiles at me, that same mocking grin stretching across its face, and it whispers, "It's my turn now." I'm frozen, unable to move, as the reflection, no, it steps out, steps into my world. The air around me is suffocating, thick, and I can feel my breath fading. I reach out, but I can't touch anything anymore. I feel nothing, just cold, just darkness. And then I realize the reflection has taken my place, and I'm trapped, inside the glass, forever. I should have known. I should have known from the moment Jason Wells walked into my office that there was something different about his case. I've seen many patients, people with anxiety, hallucinations, stress-induced disorders, but something about Jason's story, it just didn't sit right with me. He wasn't like the others. His fear was too real, too alive. And now, as I sit here in my office, pacing back and forth, I realize that I've made a terrible mistake. I thought it was just paranoia, but it wasn't. And now, it's too late. It all started with that phone call. It was late, much later than I normally would have expected to hear from the police, especially when it was about one of my patients. Officer Daniel's voice on the other end was calm, but there was something in it that made my blood run cold. "Dr. Carter," he began, "we've found Mr. Jason Wells' belongings at his apartment. He's missing. No one's heard from him in days. We need your help." I felt my stomach drop. "What do you mean, his belongings? What happened to him?" The officer paused. "His wallet, phone, keys, they were all left behind. There's no sign of forced entry, but his neighbors haven't seen him, and no one has heard from him. We're just trying to figure out what happened." I felt an icy chill creep up my spine. Jason had been so adamant about what he had been experiencing. The reflections, the things he saw that no one else did. I thought it was all in his head, but now, this was real, and I had ignored every warning sign. "Officer, can you give me more details?" I managed to say, trying to steady my voice. "Did he say anything? Was he scared?" Officer Daniels was quiet for a moment before responding. He mentioned something about reflections, about something in the mirror trying to take his place. He seemed like he believed it. "We found a notebook, but the rest, I'm afraid you'll have to see for yourself." I didn't need to hear anything more. My heart was pounding in my chest, the weight of dread sinking deep into my bones. There was no way I was going to let this go. Not after everything Jason had said. Not after everything I had dismissed as delusion. I arrived at the police station just as the sun was setting, the sky painted in a deep, ominous hue. My mind raced with 1,000 thoughts, each one darker than the last. What had happened to Jason? Where was he? And more terrifyingly, what had taken him? The officer led me to a small room in the back, where he placed a notebook in front of me. Jason's handwriting was everywhere. Messy, frantic, his words a jumble of thoughts and sentences that didn't quite make sense. But as I flipped through the pages, I began to see the same recurring theme. He wasn't just seeing things. He believed he was being hunted, that something was watching him, studying him, waiting for the right moment to take him. His reflections weren't just reflections, they were trying to replace him. It was absurd. I knew it was absurd, but the more I read, the more I felt something stirring in my chest. Something I couldn't quite identify, something that told me Jason wasn't just spiraling into madness. Something deeper was going on, something I hadn't been able to see. And then the officer spoke again, his voice low. "There's something else, Doctor. Carter. Something we need you to see." I didn't want to look. But I followed him anyway, my feet heavy as if they were being dragged by some unseen force. He led me down a narrow hallway toward a room at the back, and there, in the center of the room, stood a mirror. It wasn't anything special. Just an old mirror, cracked in places, the glass fogged with age. But when the officer spoke, the unease in his voice sent a chill down my spine. "We found this in his apartment." I stepped forward, my hands clammy, my pulse quickening. I didn't want to look. I didn't want to see what Jason had seen, but I had to. I couldn't stop myself. As I stared into the mirror, I saw nothing. Just the dimly lit room behind me, the officer standing off to my side. But then, something flickered. I don't know how to explain it, but it was as though the reflection, no, not just the reflection, it moved. For a brief moment I thought I saw Jason, his face twisted in a grimace, his eyes wide with terror. It wasn't him, it couldn't have been. But as the reflection shifted, I realized with a sickening jolt that it was him, but it wasn't. His face had contorted into something grotesque, unnatural. It wasn't the Jason I knew. I stepped back, my hand reaching out instinctively to steady myself against the wall. "What is this?" My voice was shaky, barely above a whisper. But the officer was silent, his gaze fixed on the mirror, his expression unreadable. The reflection, the thing in the mirror, was no longer just Jason. It was alive. It moved independently, its movements jerky and unnatural, as if it was testing the boundaries of the glass. It was as if the thing inside the mirror knew we were watching. And then it did something that made my blood run cold. It looked at me. Not in the way a reflection should, not in the way a mirror reflects an image. No, it stared. Those eyes, Jason's eyes, locked with mine, and in that moment I saw something more. I saw malice. I saw hunger. It smiled. A cruel, twisted grin spread across its face, stretching unnaturally wide. It wasn't Jason smiling at me. It was something else, something that wanted to be free. I could feel it in my bones, a suffocating sense of wrongness. This wasn't just a trick of the light or some hallucination. This was real, and it had been waiting. I backed away from the mirror, my legs trembling beneath me. I wanted to scream, to run, but I was rooted to the spot, frozen in place by the terror that washed over me. And then, just as quickly as it had happened, the reflection snapped back to its original position. The smile was gone. The eyes were once again empty, devoid of emotion. But I knew what I had seen. It wasn't just a reflection, it was alive. And it was waiting for someone to take its place. I turned to the officer, my voice trembling with fear. "What did you see?" I whispered, desperate for some explanation. But I knew. I knew that he had seen it too, that he had felt the same terror. But we couldn't say it. Not yet. I don't know, Officer Daniels said, his voice barely audible. His face was pale, his hands shaking as he wiped them on his pants. But I think Jason knew exactly what it wanted. And then it hit me. The truth I had been too blind to see, too scared to acknowledge. Jason had been right. The reflection wasn't just a mirror image, it was something else, and it wanted out. And now it had found its way. Thank you for venturing into the shadows with me here at Frightful Whispers. Remember, the darkness holds secrets, but also whispers truths to those who dare to listen. If tonight's tale sent shivers down your spine, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps keep the fire of fright alive. Rest easy, but keep one eye open, for the night is never truly still. Until we meet again, stay vigilant, stay curious, and let the whispers guide you.